Hi and welcome. I'm going to be showing you 5 free plugins from the same company. Welcome. My name is John Skippy Limcool. This is PLYSHKA, plugins you should know about number 6. Because it's all from one company that I'm showing you 5 plugins. Now don't get used to this. I keep each one of these keeps adding more. Tomorrow isn't 7 plugins, and the next day isn't 8 plugins, I promise. We're mainly showing just one plugin at a time, but today we're kind of going crazy because there's 4 synthesizers and a reverb effect that are all free from uhi.com. So let's get the basics out of the way, shall we say. To start with, if you need inspiring sounds, please come to my website. I have a lot of libraries. In fact, you were hearing a patch from my libraries. Right here, the Toxic Zebra library is what I was using for bass. I couldn't find in any of the presets that come with these free plugins any basses I was happy with for bass. So I used a Zebra patch, and I'll show you that when we get there. If you don't know about Yuhi, you should, because he's truly one of the pioneers of our industry. From the 2000. I'll give you a little bit more history in a minute, but uhi.com, when you hit home, you will see this list right here of all the plugins. And let's see, Zebralet, Protoverb, Podolsky, Tyrell N6 are what we're going to show you, and Triple Cheese. And Zoid as well, but Zoid, it's a Mac audio unit only. This was created in like 2002. It's one of the first things Urs Heckman did. 2002 is when Apple brought out audio units because they didn't want to follow VSTs. They didn't like, there were certain things with the VST plugins that were not as flexible as they wanted or something like that. So they wanted their own format and they wanted to confuse things, and that's kind of the way Apple likes to do things. Can't use anybody else's plug. It has to be a special plug. Can't be use anybody else's plugin format. It has to be our own plugin format, you know. So in 2002, he did that. I actually have patches inside of Zoid. That's how long we go back. And I've never met him in person, so someday I hope to meet Urs in person. After that, he released Triple Cheese, which is a really cool, unique synthesizer with a very different synthesis structure than anything else. It's comb filter based, and there's 3 separate oscillators up here that you can determine whether it creates sounds or else if it's a filter that modifies like a filter the sounds. And there's a handful of presets that show. It can do nice sounds as well. There's, as I showed, Drown. Now, you should know HS Howard Scar is someone that you're going to see the name in all of the Zebra libraries. He's also the programmer with Hans Zimmer and Hans Zimmer's films. So he's got a nice reputation behind him and his work. Hans has stated he only uses the Yuhi plugins. He doesn't use anybody else's plugins for his films. And he uses Howard Scar for programming. And it's very cool that all of these synthesizers will see Howie or HS names on the presets. So be aware of that. It's kind of cool to have someone of that programming background and capabilities making factory patches for these, as we show Stilton, as we start with Triple Cheese. But again, this is like 2003. This was actually entered in a competition which he won, Urs Heckman won, for this layout. And this is before Zebra or anything. So it's really cool. That's the early history of this company, and you can download this still for free. Next, we're going to show you Podolsky, which I was using it for kind of a cool, snappy thing. It does more than the BPM stuff. Just so if you hit presets and go to local, there's see, showing normal. Oh, this is why I put BPM at the beginning of all the names of my patches. I hate going through patches and you come across rhythmic stuff and then it's normal stuff next to it and you can't tell. But the unique things here, this is one of the early oscillator attempts to do a crossfading. He calls it wave warp. You'll also see this when you get to the free Zebralet plugin, which is like a small, just a percentage pulled out from Zebra. And it also has a wave warp, which can be modulated and get more complex. It can now do multiple steps instead of, I believe with Podolsky, it was only 3 shapes that it's going between. The other thing that's unique with Podolsky is if you bring down the filter, and if you have it almost being snappy, there's this click parameter, which is cool. That's not something you see in most filters. So it was the attempt to try to get more of the retro snappiness was to use a click kind of a option. So that was the cool things with Podolsky. Play with it, see what you think. It's free. Tyrell is unique in that you have to go to a special website to get this. So if you wish to get Tyrell for free, Tyrell, by the way, being the corporation behind the replicants inside of the movie Blade Runner, that's where the name comes from. So this is a clone of like the Juno 60 mini mode kind of a synthesizer. There's free patches right here. To download the plugin, you got to go down through the list to page 3. And at the bottom of page 3, there's a nice picture of Urs. Hello, dude. You can see right here where it says download and report on the latest Tyrell N6 version. So right there is where it is at for you to download. So you go there, scroll down to the list, and I think it's right here. Yeah, download free Tyrell synth. So that is a free download. Capable of some nice sounds. Again, Zebralet is a subset of Zebra and can do some really interesting sounds. And this is just a fraction of what you can get from the full version of Zebra. In fact, the library that we released, Toxic Zebra, we programmed not only the mod wheel, these are far ruder than any sounds you will find inside of the actual. Just killer sounds. But this library also has soft sides to it. It has a lot of really nice pads, these types of. And you hear the sound of Zebra is just. But to get to that sound, to get to Zebra, he created these other synthesizers before, and they're all free now to work with for free. So it's really nice that he does so. Downloading the full version of Zebra will get you Zebralet, Zebralit, okay? So download the full version of Zebra 2, and this will be available for you to play with. Like I showed you Tyrell, I showed you Podolsky, I showed you Triple Cheese. Finally, let me show you this. This is kind of fun. This is a Super Macho Drum Groove. I'm going to solo it. And I took up the tuning so it's up at higher pitch. This is tuning at 12, but if I take it down, this is what it originally is. And let's turn on punch. It's not. Let's do it. Let's punch it to snap it and shorten it. So now really hear what we're going to do next. This is a free reverb. It's called Protoverb. Here it is. What's cool with this came out a couple years ago, is it's got random. Each time you hit random, it's new. Decay will change the decay of the reverb, but that's the only parameter you got. And then if you like it, you can go up here and hit save and save it as a patch. So it's cool for that kind of stuff. There's other, I've made some presets. I've made like ugly verb. Or so it's a free, unique, algorithmic reverb. You can even still send codes if you like create something interesting and unique. There's a page you can send it to right here where it has listed the algorithm for the code, how you rate it. I don't even know if they look at these anymore, but it's still a web page that's up, so I guess you could. Maybe they'll use those in the future for something. I don't know. It's interesting. But anyway, that is the plugins for this PLYSHKA that are free. So let me just, in closing, point out also that you should check out both Repro 1 and Repro 5, which now they come together as a package. The spirit and the energy and the accuracy to... Yesterday I showed you a unique kind of a retro analog synthesizer that has its own personality. This has a personality like what you would expect from like vintage synthesizers. There's a tweak page where you can go in and tweak parameters. There's a sequencer which can actually play between two different sequences that you can toggle between. It's one of my favorites, and I will probably do a library next year for this, for sure. Just great, just amazing stuff. So make sure you check out all this stuff Yuhi has to offer. Great company, great people behind it. And that's PLYSHKA number 6. So I think we got 6 more to go. We're halfway done. So hope you like these. All right. There's 5 plugins in one video. Wow. Enjoy. Don't expect this every time. This is probably the only video where I will do this much free in one video. But I have other fun stuff to show you. So stay tuned. See you tomorrow.